Tucker, your time has come.
Fantastic. Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, I'm just going to change tacks ever so slightly and focus on this new system that is the licensing system that will be put in place. And I understand it's not specific to this bill, but it is related to the wider gun licensing and gun control form that we are debating in this place. And firstly, just to perhaps expedite the back and forth, is there a term or a definition we can use for this new licensing system that is being rolled out?
It's colloquially known as L&R, so licensing and registration. So you're very welcome to use that terminology, and I'll know what you're talking about, and it might save some time.
Okay.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Okay, I'll just call it the licensing system.
Or L&R, whichever.
Okay. And so, firstly, how much is the system? How much has it costed the taxpayer so far, and how much is it expected to cost the taxpayer?
The Minister.
Thank you. Honourable Member, $27 million has been set aside for it. As to what it's costed so far and what it might cost, the question's better asked of an estimates committee or through the parliamentary hearings. The officers here wouldn't have any understanding. It's probably the finance areas of the departments who would, but certainly $27 million has been set aside for this new system.
Okay.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minister. $27 million is obviously a significant amount that has been set aside, has been allocated. And the next logical follow-on question is what is the expected time frame for this system to be completed? Is it operational in any aspect right now, and what is that sort of hard fixed deadline for the system to be fully completed?
The Minister.
Thank you. So I'm told it's partly operational now, but it will take until calendar year 2026 to finalise. I think in this place, not just over the last few days, but certainly we've heard from the Honourable Peter Collier numerous times since he's been the Shadow Minister for Police, talking about his frustration at the ability to get answers to particular questions over time. The system that we've got currently is outdated, and so there's a big piece of work that needs to take place. But lots of it is operational, but there's a bit more to do over the next 2 years.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, given it is partially operational, perhaps just to sort of take a step back and try and define what exactly the functionality will be delivered as part of this system upgrade. Can you give this chamber an indication of what are the processes that will be included as part of the system update? And I imagine, and from the WA resident perspective, there'll be the ability to renew your licence, to apply for a gun licence, to register some land for a gun to be shot on. Are three that come to mind. But can you give a breakdown of what those processes will be included as part of this $27 million system upgrade?
The Minister.
Thanks very much. So some of the workflow processes that have been completely upgraded within the new L&R system include an ability to make an application and all stages of assessment of those applications through to either approval or refusal. Receiving and completing a renewal of licence and/or any correspondence regarding a licence or application. Industry reporting of firearms going in and out of businesses, together with record of sales of ammunition and other related items. Reporting on minimum activity, requirements for competition shooters, including club and range reporting activities. And providing then managing written authorities in support of a licence holder for either hunting or competition purposes.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, is that the exhaustive list of all the workflow processes?
The Minister.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, it's not exhaustive. There are other things. So it's a full online portal. People can make online payments, people can register their property, and we'll have integration with the new National Register as well.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Thank you, Minister. So within these workflow processes, which departments will have access to this system, be it incorporated as part of these workflows, or access to this online portal that is being created as part of this system upgrade?
The Minister.
Thank you. I'm told it's only WA Police.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Minister, just to clarify, when you say the only WA Police, is that the only department that will have access to this overall $27 million system upgrade, or will other departments have a role to play in that underlying workflow?
The Minister.
Thank you. So if the question is who is assisting police with the work on the portal, then the Office of Digital Government at the Department of Premier and Cabinet is working with them on the portal or on the new system. But if the question is who else will have access to it, then the answer again is only WA Police will have access to the data on the portal.
Okay, thank you.
The question is that Clause 1 do stand as printed. The Honourable Wilson Tucker, do you...
Yeah, thank you, Deputy Chair. I just have a few more questions.
I think the others have deferred to you. The Honourable Wilson Tucker has the call.
Okay, thank you. Minister, in regards to there's $27 million that has been budgeted for this system, is the system, is it considered cost recovery? When you talk about the licensing aspect that exists currently, like the WA Police aren't there to make a profit from somebody who is applying for a licence. They are providing a service, and they are providing that service on a cost recovery basis. So it should, I guess, the amount it takes to provide that service is reflective of the licensing cost. Is that an accurate assessment? Is the licensing system as it is now and moving forward, is it considered on a cost recovery basis?
The Minister.
Thank you very much. So in relation to the $27 million, no, we're not seeking to cost recover that. In relation to the current costs, the current and indeed recurrent costs of managing the registry, then that is fully cost recovered at the moment. And moving forward, the intention would be to continue to try at least cost recover to manage the registry.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, just to clarify, I think we're on the same page here, but the operating costs of the existing system is considered on a cost recovery basis, and then the new system, when it's implemented, the operational overhead will be on a cost recovery basis. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's good to clarify. The next question I have around this system is the efficiencies, and I guess really the justification for the potential $27 million spend implementing this system. Because I imagine when there's a business case that's been put forward for this, there is obviously a net benefit, hopefully to the end user, about actually putting this system in place. Otherwise, why would you go through this very expensive exercise to do it? So what does that efficiency gain look like from having this new system installed when it has been completely rolled out?
The Minister.
Thanks very much. Well, there are lots of efficiencies to be gained. I mean, if you've been listening to the debate the last few weeks, or indeed any questions a number of honourable members have raised in this place over a long period of time, there are inefficiencies in the current system. Data is held in different places, and so it's very difficult at the moment to to get granular data. Sometimes it's held at police stations and it's not held centrally. Sometimes it's held in a manual format. In fact, lots of times it's held in a manual format. It's not easily accessible, and therefore to answer questions in this place, an inordinate amount of time has to be spent to trawl through papers. So that won't happen in relation to to the new system. But under the new system, the enhanced accessibility for applicants and licence holders will reduce the time taken for them to complete the application process. And this will occur by having the process digitised and accessible online 24/7 without the need to attend a post office or other third location on multiple occasions, which in cases can be a significant distance from their own address. The registry will be able to tell people the correct fees they need to pay and the charges to be structured under the new processes. So there's a lot. This will make it easier not only for users or people who need to interact with the licensing and enforcement division, but also with police, and certainly in terms of for those members in this place who have an interest in WAPOL and WAPOL's business, will certainly help get answers to parliamentary questions for people too. I think the Honourable Peter Collier may say this is a $27 million well spent.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair, and thank you, Minister. That does sound good on face value about some of these efficiencies, and I think when we talk about providing that data back, certainly to members asking questions related to interrogating a police database, I imagine that it is quite sort of difficult to put that in very simple and quantifiable terms. It's more of a technical requirement potentially, but when we focus on the WA residents' experience and their interaction with this new system, is there anything that you can provide to quantify what that benefit and what that $27 million spend is actually going towards?
The Minister.
Thank you. I've already given reasons. So certainly gun owners, firearms owners who may need to interact with the system, they are Western Australian residents, and so certainly from their perspective, this will be helpful for them. To hold the agency to account, or government to account, I think many Western Australian residents would say that's a good investment to make. And to enable police to do the jobs that they need to do in a more efficient fashion, for them not to have to spend an inordinate amount of time going through bits of paper at a time, may well lead to them being able to do other things, which again, I think the Western Australian public would support. And so again, I would see that as a benefit to Western Australians.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, just focusing on let's use the use case of renewing a firearms licence. Does the current system have any metrics or SLAs in place around the processing time for an application?
The Minister.
Have metrics. Certainly in the case of applying to renew at the moment, a form is mailed out. Now, for those of us who live in or indeed represent regional Western Australia, and even Australia Post announcement recently that we're not going to get mail every day, you would know, it can take, I wouldn't say days, sometimes it can take weeks to get mail to a regional community. So there will be efficiencies in that. If a person who has to interact with licensing enforcement can do it on a system online that's available 24/7, then there are significant efficiencies to be gained from that.
Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, I understand when we talk about snail mail, it takes a long time, and it is something that is outside the control of the WA Police in respect to that licence renewal process. But in the four walls of the police department, within their system, there's obviously a workflow and a process, and then they have complete control over that process. But what you're saying is there's currently no SLAs or no metrics being recorded around processing times within the existing system?
The Minister.
Thank you. I'm told if you're doing an assessment on the quality of it's on a licence, it's about the quality of the assessment, and it's not on getting it done in a day, 2 days, a week or a year. So again, I'm told no, there's not.
Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, moving forward with this new $27 million, or potential $27 million system upgrade, will there be SLAs or KPIs put in place for with the new system that's been put in place? Will there be SLAs or KPIs being put in place for these processes and these workflows that were outlined earlier?
Minister.
Thank you. So I'm told no. The only time limits that exist in the legislation at the moment, and so there's one around 42 days in terms of when you can get your licence. However, no KPIs have been established as yet. But the biggest KPI in this place, whether it's in an annual report or not, is when MPs can get answers to parliamentary questions, and then get them answered in a timely fashion. And so once the system is operational, and then we'll have a better understanding as to how good it is, how efficient it has been, and how easily we can get answers to questions about data and processing and the like.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Minister, you mentioned that there are efficiencies in the new system, which is the point of the system. Obviously, I think getting parliamentary questions back a little bit quicker is a nice to have, but $27 million just to cut down the response time from the Honourable Peter Collier, I think he would agree that that's probably a bit of a misuse of $27 million of taxpayer money. But I'm really concerned about the efficiencies that are being introduced in the system if you don't have that baseline with the old system, and then, as you mentioned, there would be no metrics or KPIs put in place as part of the new system. So how are you quantifying the value and the justification for this $27 million spend to the taxpayer if you can't provide a comparison or any efficiencies in the form of SLAs to people applying for a licence, to people applying for a renewal of a licence, and all the other workflows that the West Australian population will have to navigate when they go to this very expensive new portal?
The Minister.
Thanks, Deputy Chair. Honourable Member, with the greatest of respect, my job today, this week, or indeed the last 2 weeks, has not been to sell to the Western Australian community the merits of the $27 million IT systems. If you've got questions in relation to that, the spend, what it entails, the appropriate place to ask that is in estimates, where the appropriate people, the finance people, will be able to tell you the spend over what period of time and exactly what they're hoping to achieve out of it. The new system has got automation in place that replaces manual handling, including the ongoing check of a person's fit and proper status. As I've indicated in multiple answers now, there are a variety of benefits from this new system. I've read those out to you. But if you've got further questions on the finances or otherwise, then I'd ask you to ask those during the Estimates Committee.
The Honourable Wilson Tucker.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. And Minister, I do appreciate the consideration. I do take your point. I will just ask one more question on this, and then I'll do some further digging in the estimates process. But just to wrap this line of questioning up, you mentioned this is a cost recovery process moving forward.
Did the money come out of the digital capability?
Given the efficiencies and I take your point that we haven't sort of quantified the efficiency exactly what they are, but Can West Australians expect a reduction in their licensing fees, given that this new system is cost recovery? It is being heralded as a more efficient system. Will that be reflected in their licensing costs?
The Minister.
Thanks. It's too early to say, honourable members. So we've got a bill going through the Parliament at the moment. We will work through then the regulations next. The cost will be identified at a later stage. So I'm not in a position to say yes or no, but certainly there will be efficiencies. As to whether the cost, the fee will get lower, who knows? I'm not sure if fees ever get lower, but certainly in terms of people's interaction with the agency and interaction with the licensing and enforcement division, there will be efficiencies gained there. And so perhaps you could say for the economy, there will be economy-wide efficiencies, because if people are not having to interact with police as often, and then that's probably an efficiency there for people to go about their jobs if indeed they're pastoralists or the like.